Welcome to another edition of Story Behind the Music. I am Darron Story, and this special edition of Story Behind the Music continues the journey of the Little Red Corvette, also known as Mi-Ling Stone Poole, and she is on the line with me. Hi, Mi-Ling. How are you?
Hello, Darron. How are you?
Doing fabulous. Thank you very much. And you also have a friend on the line with us, and Clyde Bunyan, and she is currently the editor, and director of business and lifestyle for the Oklahoman. Hi, Clyde. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, good. Now, we have her on because what we've been doing, for those of you, just to reset, those of you who are just jumping in at this point, is that we're bringing different people in and talking to us about Mi-Ling and who know her from different stages of her life, and trying to, paint the picture of from her youth to where she is now, and then everything in between. And Clyde, you are a part of that because she worked with you at the Oklahoman. Tell us about when you first met Mi-Ling.
I met Mi-Ling through a mutual friend of ours who told me about this woman who he described as the local Martha Stewart. Now, I've got to say, when I met Mi-Ling, she immediately told me, I am not Martha Stewart. But I was interested when he mentioned that because, and it piqued my interest in wanting to know her and get to meet her, because I thought, okay, we are always very much interested in local content, contributions from local folks. And so I thought I would try to, make it a point of meeting her and seeing if I thought she was a good fit for us at the time.
Sure. All right. And honestly, Clyde, I didn't know that Mi-Ling was so domestic, honestly. This was when she started doing that column and all that, writing books and all this stuff. I was like, wow, didn't even know that she was. So she's quite the Renaissance woman, actually, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So you met her and you started working together, and she's developing this content for you. What was something that struck you about Mi-Ling as a person as you got to know her? Because we've had a lot of people talk about there are certain things that she was feisty and aggressive, a go-getter. What are some of the things that you noticed about her as you got to know her?
Well, I noticed all those things because, frankly, when someone tells me, look, I want to write a weekly column about X, Y, Z, whatever it is, I'm always skeptical because I don't think they always understand what they're in for. I mean, a weekly column is a huge commitment.
Mm-hmm.
But she wanted to do a weekly column, and so I didn't honestly take her seriously about that right away. But she kept coming back and kept trying to explain, what she would do and how she would do it and how she would keep it fresh. She wrote samples, and so she was pretty, insistent. So all those things you described about her, about feisty, aggressive, and all that, she still is. But she delivered on them. And other things that I've noticed with her is that Mi-Ling really cares about people, and so once we got to talking and got to know each other, it was not just about her, but wanting to contribute something that she felt really could help someone else, or someone else could actually get an idea from. So I thought it was important for us to at least give it a shot.
And there was one other thing, Darron, I'll just kind of chime in. I had pitched the idea initially to the local paper in Edmond,
Mm-hmm.
and Clyde is friends with that editor as well. And so she really didn't want to take me from them. It was a little awkward at first because I had written for that paper 2 columns weekly for, 2.5 years, I think. And then my friend Milton McCourty suggested, he said, you need to go to the Oklahoma and you need to be in the daily paper. And I was like, well, I was just hesitant because they gave me my start and I wanted to pay them respect because, she was able to see what I could do through their papers. And so it was kind of a strange thing, but I knew it was almost like there was fear too. I knew I had to do this in order to go where I wanted to go. And my initial place that I wanted to go was syndicated nationally and internationally. And what was so wonderful was when I finally decided that, okay, I'm ready to do it, because you didn't know about this, Clyde, but Milton had tried to introduce us many, many times, and I was like, I'm not quite ready. I wanted to have content under my belt and everything. And I think even I had tips on, I think I was already doing tips on Jack and Ron at that time, too, with the Edmund Sun, I'm pretty sure. So I had already started to brand myself, but when she decided she would, take me on, I was elated and terrified, and she made me write like 5 columns ahead.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, she did. And
because I really wanted to make sure that you understood that this was a commitment, and that there's a possibility that if you submitted one column on a particular week, I may say, yeah, really, I'm not feeling this. This one just doesn't cut it for me.
Yes.
Where's the next one? And so I really wanted you to get a sense of what the rhythm was for us. If you're going to do this, then we're going all the way professional with it. So, and you delivered. So that was good.
And what was interesting is the week, I think the first week, my column ran in the real estate section, and Richard Mize was my editor. I got a call. He got a call, or somebody at the paper got a call from Channel 9. Our what is it? Is it ABC or NBC?
CBS.
CBS. Our CBS affiliate, and they were looking for someone to do tips. So it was almost like boom, 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 immediately. And then a few weeks later, wasn't it, Clyde? McClatchy Tribune in D.C. was interested. So it was. The lesson here is to fight through the fear of success, Darron, and to just push through and say, this is what I've always wanted, but don't be terrified, because if you don't take that first step, you'll never do it.
Indeed. And when Mi-Ling, I know this about her, is when she gets in her head that she wants to do something, you can't really stop her. It's, she's a force of nature.
Crazy, Mi-Ling, during that time, one day she said to me, Heidi, I'm having a tea party, and I want you to come. And so I thought the tea party was going to be in the evening, but it was in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm working, but then I thought, well, I got to have a lunch break. But then she started talking about, you got to wear a hat and all this stuff. I'm thinking, this woman is crazy. I'm working. By then, of course, we really become friends. So I show up at this tea party during my lunch hour.
It was my birthday, too. Remember, it was a 42nd birthday or something like that? Or, I don't know, one of those birthdays. Yeah.
Something, yeah. But I showed up for this party, and there's a house full of people, women, a house full of women. And now I know Mi-Ling is very outgoing, but there was everyone from the mayor of that town to just about a lot of people who are movers and shakers in the community at this tea party. It was so hot. It was a summer day, but it was great. So it just showed me at that time that she has a network of people who are from a variety of walks of life.
Right.
Because there were church women to professional women to, like, as I said, a mayor. And it was very impressive.
And the decorating. And that took me 2 weeks. I decorated the whole house in the style of like a tea house, and I had my old lingerie from back in the day with one section, and I had wedding dresses and garb, just like you would if you went to like a tea shop or tea house, Darren. I don't know if you've ever been in a tea house.
I have not, but can't wait.
Clyde, you wrote about it. I actually created, and I made most of the food, probably 80% of the food.
Yeah. She's a great cook, by the way. She's a great cook.
I think he's stunned. Are you there, Darren?
I'm here. Oh, I'm just taking all this in, tea parties and all this stuff. She never cooked for me.
Well,
maybe maybe down the road, but Clyde, I do want to ask you about the revelation of her relationship with Prince to you. Do you remember when she told you about this?
Well, okay, so we became friends over the course of the years, and somewhere along the line she did tell me that she once dated Prince. And, of course, I knew she was from Minneapolis, so I'm like, okay. So when the revelation came about the Little Corvette, I thought, whoa.
Actually, she told me, are you sure you want that out there?